Hi friends, welcome back to Moments Peace. I am Narita and I have 6 kids. I homeschool 5 out of the 6. One's graduated, one's getting ready to graduate this year, and I will be left with 4 kids and 17 years into homeschooling. People ask me all the time, you've used this curriculum and this curriculum and that curriculum, so what is it? Is it Simply Charlotte Mason, Generations, Queen Homeschool, Master Books? What do you use? Common Sense Press? And so the answer is all of them. In 17 years, I get to use a lot of different things and have different kids at different levels. Some things work better for them than the other. When Master Books came out with math, I kind of wanted to just use my younger kids as guinea pigs to see how they would do in comparison after using Horizon and Saxons in the past and see if it compared, and it did. A lot of people are kind of surprised because they're like, well, Master Books doesn't seem like enough. Is it enough? And my son scored a perfect score and his math level for the CAT test from the 1970s. And yeah, that it did. The scope and sequence is pretty much the same. We've used teaching textbooks. Now our favorite math is Shorman math for the higher grades. And second place would probably go into Jacob's math, which is by Master Books. But I love Dr. Shorman. You cannot go wrong with Dr. Shorman and how he teaches. He's a brilliant teacher and he makes learning math and harder concepts very easy. He's very gifted. And so we have stuck with him and Saxon for middle school and up into high school with actual Shorman math. And when it comes to history, I've done Simply Charlotte Mason, Queen Homeschool, I've done Beautiful Feet, and I've done Master Books. So and if you want to count church history with Generations, and some things like learning language well through literature worked really great in the younger ages for my kids. But then as they got older, I've only used like the living books part and like just used Sandy Queen's language lessons. And, a few years ago and this year, we've decided to use Master Books language lessons just to see and compare for different kids. And for my older kids who have done both Wordsmith from Common Sense Press and from in Queen Homeschool's language lessons, I wanted them to do the Pilgrim's Progress, and I like the way that Master Books put it together, and we've liked it so far, and it's been working great. So I think that everything we choose have come from having so many kids in different grade levels, giving us an opportunity to use all of it, and just some particular goals. I started out with Christian Liberty Press for my kids learning how to read, but unfortunately, my fifth out of 6 kids, my 5th child had a hard time and could not do it. So I tried other things to get him to learn how to read. 100 lessons. I've taught him all about reading, all about spelling. And what really helped him was the Delightful Reading by Charlotte Mason, Simply Charlotte Mason. And so that's what led me to that at that time. So all the companies that I endorse and recommend to you is because I have been in it for a long time and I had a wide range of children, and I don't switch because one is better than the other. I've either switched because it fit a need better, because I needed to spend less energy doing something and them needing to be more independent, or because I needed a child to accomplish a certain goal or certain credits when they got to high school. Or because it wasn't really working anymore, but I stay within that umbrella. I made a video on why to choose curriculum for your particular homeschool versus just asking the question, what curriculum do you use? What curriculum do you use? Because I really do believe that your curriculum that you use should be based on your convictions, based on your goals and your priorities, and you have to take into account your family season and your child and their learning style, your teaching style, and then when it comes down to just budget. And so I have favorites, like if I'm looking for enrichment and, all the, nature study and poetry and composer and artist, like I'm going to go straight to Simply Charlotte Mason. Like that's just hands down. If I want, critical thinking and I want to have like apologetics, like the flagship for that is going to be Master Books. My science, it's going to be Master Books. When I want a particular language lessons, like I have to take a little bit more time to pray through and think about it. Do I want my kid to jump from Queen Homeschool to Master Books? Do I want them to stay the course with one or the other? And then there's times with like Common Sense Press, I love the Wordsmith Apprentice, Wordsmith, and Wordsmith Craftsman. And so I think that those have worked great with Spelling Wisdom from Simply Charlotte Mason together and Sandy Queen's Homeschool. So for a while there, for my older kids, like particularly my daughter who graduated, who is a published author, she had Wordsmith series, language lessons, and for Queen Home, and she had Spelling Wisdom, and that made up her language arts. And it wasn't because one needed to be supplemented from the other, but she needed Spelling Wisdom for honing in on the spelling and the dictation and copy work, and then she needed language lessons for a little bit more of variety when it came to creative writing, because she loved writing but getting that grammar in, where the Wordsmith Craftsman was really going to teach her the different styles of writing and giving her more opportunity to write and do footnotes and stuff like that, because in the Queen Homeschool level, that would be her 12th grade year. So where they teach like research writing. They've all flown really well together. You could just use Spelling Wisdom and using Language Well, or Spelling Wisdom and language lessons from Sandy Queen, and or now you can give Master Books language lessons 9, and I know 10 is about to come out, a try. There's been times where they've done language lessons from Queen Homeschool and then just have used like the Great Christian Classics by Master Books for their reading. Or I have taken learning language through literature and taken all the living books and paired that with language lessons and Spelling Wisdom. So like I've kind of customized it based on my kids' needs and said, okay, well, this will be their literature, this will be their like grammar and writing, and this will just be like their copy work and extra spelling because they might need that. Where I have another child who can, like, he could spell from the time he was like 5, and he was reading at 3. So he didn't really need Spelling Wisdom past book 2, even though I got him to book 3. And he loved language lessons for a bit. And then after a while, he asked for something new and different. And so we just stuck with the Wordsmith, and that's how he finished out his education. And so, it just really depends on what you're needing and looking for, but you can't go wrong once you kind of have a vision of and convictions of your goals of like what you will bring into your home, and then streamline all of that and pray about your priorities, your kids, your goals, and then which curriculum company is going to best execute that. And if you've already slimmed it down based on the philosophy of education and price, and you're just kind of coming down to 2 companies like Simply Charlotte Mason and Queen Homeschool, or Master Books and Generations, or Master Books and Simply Charlotte Mason, like you just basically at that point just need to pray and use discernment. But that's all of those would fall under one umbrella, and then like a Becca and BJU would be all the way over here on a different level. Like let's say none of them offer Spanish, you may want to choose BJU to get Spanish through long distance learning, and I highly recommend it. I like BJU for certain things like that. Even some people prefer to use them for their sciences instead of Master Books or Dr. Shorman, and that's totally understandable. But they too would fall under the same umbrella of being Christian and being young earth. The only difference I would say is that BJU is made for more of a school setting, where Master Books is made from from homeschoolers to homeschoolers. And Simply Charlotte Mason doesn't really have higher level sciences. They usually farm those out or recommend Apologia. So you may really want to stick with Charlotte Mason based science for the upper grades and not really care or want much of lab work. And if your kids are not going into the math or science courses, and you may want to just use Sandy Queen's higher level, where the concepts are really down, but like maybe the math for chemistry is not really all there. So, those are different ways of choosing and kind of thumbing through all of it. It's a little difficult to kind of like describe my process because I have so many kids and have been doing this for 17 years. So I have a little bit more experience with a variety of different curriculum companies, but I will say do not jump from curriculum to curriculum to curriculum. Once you jump from a curriculum to curriculum, you kind of will lack consistency or an expectation, and you'll also always have like a learning curve. You'll have a learning curve for yourself, whether that's for grading stuff or a learning curve for your child that you have to help them get through. Now, sometimes the change is necessary. Sometimes the change is great just from one year to the next, and it's a slight change. But be very mindful and prayerful about those changes instead of just like jumping ship, because I will say that good planning, praying, and just preparing through will really help you prioritize, because you don't want to see something new and shiny and get distracted or blow your budget or not be focused because someone else's homeschool or someone else's child is not necessarily your own. And so you need to really think about your energy levels, your teaching style, your child's learning style, their particular needs, and then your budget, and kind of be able to decipher based on your priorities, your goals, your plans, and your own energy of what really is doable and manageable each day. And then pick what you feel is best. I like sticking with master books when it comes to apologetics and when it comes to apologetics and science, because they have stuff for every level. Their flagship is apologetics, and they work very closely with Answers in Genesis, and I like that. But BJU, we've done some apologetic stuff with them, and that was also a viewer question. BJU apologetics, or the answer books for kids, or the ask the tough questions. And I would say that you would really want to quick win, start with the answer books for kids, and then quick answers to tough questions. And then the BJU kind of is a more thicker, comprehensive, systematic way of breaking down all of those in one book. So one year you could use one, and then the next year you could use BJU, or you could use BJU and then go back, and the quick answers to tough questions would be more like reviews to keep you sharp and presented in a different way. But again, they're both really, really great. I pray that this has been helpful to you and has answered your questions some. And just remember, do not compare. You are unique. Your school is unique. Your child's unique. Your budget's unique. Trust Jesus, and you cannot go wrong once you know what you believe and what you want to bring into your home, and to just be discerning with what you bring into your home. All right, well, I pray that God's peace will be with you, and until next time, may God bless you.